Okay, this is Gunner. He's a 3-year-old colt. I've got about 90 days on him. Whenever I bridle a horse, you never bridle a horse tied up and never unbridle a horse tied up. So I'll just present that bridle and just give that horse a chance to pick up the bridle on his own when I saddle. With my colts, I don't usually tie them up. I want them to freestand just in case they had a little bit of a problem. You can tie them up, but you know, one of the things is I'm not really a big stickler on rules. My biggest rules are never mount a horse tied up, never bridle or unbridle tied up. So we'll go ahead and get on this colt from the ground, kind of get him to brace up there. He holds for me really nice there and just stands still. Again, never mount a tied up horse. That's my second cardinal rule. First one is don't bridle or unbridle tied up. When I get on, I'm going to start off by bending right away to my left. The left is the easiest way for a horse to go, so I start off there and just do my suppling exercises. I want my inside leg of my horse's rear legs to be crossing over, and I want to see that both left and right. So I'm going to spend a few minutes on that before I ever want to ask for speed or go out on the trail or introduce anything to my horse. Really, the suppling is a way of initiating a conversation. We're basically saying, hey pony, how are you doing today? Are you feeling good? Are we on the same page? I don't like to make assumptions about horses because those usually don't work out too well for me. So I always want to ask a lot of questions the whole time, making sure my horse is good. When it is good, I'll go ahead and walk out. I'll work both sides of my reins, just asking for the chin to come down, get that horse to bridle a little bit. So when I pick up my trot, that horse will collect kind of nice for me and push off from the rear end forward as opposed to pushing down from the nose back. I'll pick up a nice little left lead there. Same thing. I'll just kind of rock that horse's chin back and forth just to encourage some collection. You'll notice his canter's nice and even gaited. He's not in a hurry. He's not real slow. I'm not having to beg him to go, but I'm not having to beg him to slow down either. When we get all that going pretty nice, we'll look for just kind of setting him down. Nice little easy stop on this colt right about there. Good, not too bad. He kind of rolls into it, but his chin's nice. So I'll back him up a couple steps just to encourage that and then trot him off the other way. I always start off going to the left because most horses are most comfortable going to the left. And then after a bit, you know, going to the right's all right there too. Same thing, I'll just work on getting that chin down. I want to have a nice balanced seat as I ride my horse. That encourages him to continue in his canter or trot or walk or even stop. Is really based entirely on my seat. So I always want to be actively riding my horse, not passively. So there we go. Ooh, that was nice. Kind of ducked his butt there. That looked kind of cute. Definitely something that could be developed. And again, we'll take a couple steps back. Then I'll come to side passing. I'll just kind of tip his nose to the left so that pushes his shoulder to the right while I push with my inside leg. In this case, it's my left. I'll do the same thing coming back to my right, push him off my right leg and just kind of tip his nose so he presents his shoulder to the opposite direction. Nice. My horse is nice and backing up nice and straight. Good cadence. He's backing from the back, not pushing from the shoulders forward. And I'll come back into a nice little side pass, nice little cross there in the front. It's very nice, very nice. So he's a good boy there. Then we'll go ahead and drag something. Not a lot of people will drag much with their horses, but I always like to introduce dragging to a horse. It's a good nuisance thing that just gets them used to doing something different. Again, just a nice sensory sort of thing. So I'll walk him off. You can see he's nice and quiet there. He's not boogering sideways, but is aware that it is there. So we'll walk him off, and he even wants to drop his head there a little bit too, so that's nice. And we'll go ahead and back him up. I like to back him up just as, again, a little nuisance thing, little sensory work there. You know, you can see he's up looking at it, but he's not afraid of that, and he'll walk by that. We'll go ahead and get our gait. This is where my leg aids come in so handy. I'll push that horse off of my inside leg, push my gait around. And I'm going to do it in 3 stages. One's going through, one's stopping, backing. Then I'm going to use my right leg to kick his hip over towards the camera. Then I'm going to use my left leg to push his shoulders back towards the actual latch. And then I'll just use that left leg. I'll get the horse in position, and then I'll wait before I fiddle with the latch. This horse has been out on trail quite a bit. We're going to go over some obstacles and just kind of show how he goes. Every horse I take out, every horse I ride, I always, you know, me being the exalted trainer, I am always very, very cautious. I don't make any assumptions about them, and saying exalted trainer is I'm being facetious. the biggest thing to being successful is doing your homework, doing your groundwork, making sure the horse is supple. So never push it. You know, there's no reward for pushing a horse when it's not ready, and that's why I like to have a long time of prep. If I'm going to ride with somebody, I like to have my horse saddled at least a half hour to 45 minutes before I'm going to meet them, have them rode, you know, have that horse where I know what that horse is going to behave like. We'll go ahead and back through this stanchion here, and then I'm just going to push his shoulders around a little bit there to my right, and then just back him up. I like to do that instead of kicking the haunches all the way around. So preparation is the key to having a good, successful life with the horse. And then we'll just go ahead and step up on this little stand here. He kind of wants to look at that, but he'll step up on that. And that right there is your trailer loading. You know, if you can get a horse on that, you can get him in a trailer, no sweat.